From education as a single parent for my kids. Thank you so much. You're doing great.
I want to say thank you, Prime Minister, and your wife. You know, warm welcome. And I love you very much, and I pray to God you win again. Because we don't want the PUP. And I want to ask you a question. If the PUP, what they did to this young man in Belize when I was there, this young man, Mr. Herbert, they kidnapped him and sent him away from our country, which was so wrong. I need to know if you can try to get him back home to his family, because if he can't be home with his family, why is that the PUP, who did so much crime to Belize, to do so much criminal thing, thief and do all sort of thing, can still be in Belize and still try to get back in power to rule? You know, it's not nice.
That's right, that's right.
Well, as you know, I had actually represented Mr. Herbert when I was in private practice, and there was an order made by the Supreme Court of Belize that the then government return him to our country. Unfortunately, they did kidnap him, but once the US took custody of him, it's just an impossibility. And so the order made by the Supreme Court went unsatisfied, and I can't tell you that we have the ability to do anything about that. The US has tried him and I believe sentenced him, and so there is no way we have the power to be able to intervene. Indeed.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister and First Lady. I bring you greetings from my husband, Pastor Ken Smart. My question to you is, I notice that every year there are always other people other than your Belizean artists that participates in your annual celebration in September. It's even has been doing the same thing here in California. You know, we have good local artists. Can we start bringing and using those artists to participate in the September celebrations?
Well, I believe the foreign artists that participate are brought by private promoters. And so there's not a great deal the government can do about that. Certainly at the official September celebrations events, you find that the niche, the National Institute of Culture and History and the September Celebrations Committee use the local artists, but you can't stop private promoters from importing those that they want. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Anthony Gill. I have a question. Since I'll be making my international school tour to Belize annual, can the government be of any assistance in providing me with transportation to the schools and the districts? Because I'm asking if I can reach out to many other students that I did this year. So I'm hoping that the government will be able to provide me with that transportation.
I'm sure that we can. I know when he was there, he appeared at the National Children's Rally under the sponsorship of the Ministry of Education. So I will let Minister Farber know of your interest to make this an annual thing, and the Ministry of Education can work out the logistics. Ultimately, it is the Minister of Finance who pays. And so I can tell you that I support your request.
Okay, this is the last question.
Good afternoon, my name is Debbie Lisby. I'd like to know, what is your administration doing to implement and protect the rights in Belize for gays and lesbians?
Again, ma'am, I'm afraid that I've gotten into very serious trouble at home with the churches over the promotion of the government's revised gender policy, which really has nothing to do with the promotion of the LGBT agenda, but is a document that contains ideas, aspirational ideals, all designed to empower women and to try to achieve full practical equality for women. But because the document, almost as an aside, talks about diversity, including with respect to gender, the churches have been on a campaign against me. They demanded, first of all, that I withdraw the document completely. I refuse to do that. I have told them that if there is language in the document that's offensive to them, they should make submissions and we can meet and talk and see how we might agree on changes that might assuage their sensitivities without doing violence to the fundamental objective of the document. On Independence Day, I spoke about the fact that gays have rights under our Constitution. And the rights I made clear are the rights enjoyed by all citizens of Belize. I was talking about the right to information, the right to non-discrimination in the workplace, the right to access health care on a basis of equality. Again, the churches went after me for merely saying what is the truth. Our Constitution, the supreme document in the land, does provide for equality among citizens and doesn't speak to whether they're gay or lesbian or straight. And so I don't see why that position is offensive, but clearly the churches do not agree, and I am therefore on the receiving end of this campaign. Now, I've made clear that while I have my own personal views, there's no way I will tell you that as a government, we are in a position to specifically empower the LGBT agenda. In the current climate, I don't see that happening. I have to be very careful in my approach, and while I will not yield on the question of the rights enshrined in the Constitution, to go beyond those rights at the current time is really a bridge too far. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Prime Minister, your visit is clearly coming to an end. Can we afford the ambassador to make a brief closing remark with respect to his visit and his observation as to what took place during the last 3 days or so? Mr. Ambassador.
I'll come there. Thank you very much. I think that after we have listened to our Prime Minister, there is a little more that I can add. I do want to tell you thank you very much for your continued support of the Consulate General of Belize here in the state of California. Thank you for supporting the noble causes promoted by Mrs. Barrow. The Embassy of Belize continues to do its work of representing the government and people of Belize in the United States. We're doing a whole lot of activities. There is no time to get into it. But I do want to share with you one thing that is very important. We are about to conclude, we have concluded actually negotiations. We are about to finalize the arrangements to sign with the U.S. Department of Labor a memorandum of understanding which will allow all Belizeans in the United States who are under other than a regular migration status to have the same levels of labor protection in the United States as everybody else. I think that will allow a lot of our people some comfort, some protection. We will conclude this memorandum shortly, and we will be making it as widely public as possible. We are looking after the interests of our people. It is important that everybody is protected under the law. The same thing we do in Belize. For our people in Belize, we're trying to do it here as much as possible. Beyond that, I want to say thank you very much. Prime Minister, thank you so much for your visit, sir. Mrs. Barrow, my wife, thank you for joining me here. And to all of you, may God bless you. Keep up the good work. Keep supporting Belize, because after all, we are all Belizeans. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Barrow, you care to make a closing statement?
Hi, just to say thank you again for supporting the Inspiration Center and my projects. I really do appreciate everyone coming out last night to help finish the construction of the Inspiration Center, and I'm most grateful. On behalf of the children of Belize, thank you.
Mr. Prime Minister.
Well, as I said last night, it's always a pleasure. I'm keenly conscious of the fact that this is where the largest community of Belizeans is outside of Belize. You are therefore of surpassing importance to me and to the government of Belize, and I also want to thank you for making this visit such a pleasurable one. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.